Yes.
Sir George?
Speaking. Who's that?
Just listen. I wanted to warn you, Sir George.
Warn me? Of what?
That you'll be pressing the button on the randomiser today.
Who is this? Who is this?
Do you see the large red box on your desk?
Is this a practical joke? It was supposed to have been loaded last night.
I took it off the hoverliner and snuck it in here for you, didn't I? To give you that sporting chance. Mr. Jamie and Mr. Richard were quite keen to have you do it this week.
I resent the fact that they were.
Unless you want me to find somebody else?
No, we'll handle this ourselves. Nothing must go wrong. Nothing will go wrong.
That's the spirit, Sir George. Now, perhaps you'll tell me what we'll be watching today.
This project was sponsored by the British and American governments.
I see. Could you perhaps give me a bit more information?
An outstanding example of international cooperation.
International? Sounds like a Protectors episode to me, sir.
And that's exactly what we're going to do.
I see, sir. Right.
Well, don't just stand there.
Yes, best be off then. Oh, and one more thing. Goodbye, George.
Forget it.
So, we're back with the Protectors on the Randomiser. It's Series 2. We're back in Venice, which is a very nice place. I think we were in Venice before for Decoy, which was the first Protectors episode we got on the Randomiser. And here is a chap. It's Paul Jones of Manfred Mann, no less. Also later of Space 1999 and The Black Sun. He's filling a suitcase full of stuff from a Venice apartment. And where's he going to take that? Well, it's just going to take it to the bridge over a canal. And if we make sure no one's watching. Well, there's that lady over there. She's watching. As he chucks it into the water. And there it was. Gone. Mystery.
Goodbye, George.
So after a brief but I think somewhat effective teaser, we're off to New York. Get our title, Goodbye George, and written by Brian Clements, directed by Michael Lindsay Hogg, who is a name I vaguely recognised. I looked him up, and he's done a lot. He is Sir Michael Lindsay Hogg, in fact. Look him up. He's done a lot of music-related stuff, music videos and such with the Beatles and so on. Anyway,
Don't ask me to pin it down.
Contessa has gone to New York to meet.
But those letters don't ring true.
The actor's name is Lionel Merton.
Yes.
I'm not sure. You notice he doesn't mention George.
He's asked the Contessa to look at some letters from his son. Because, yes, for 2 Protectors episodes in a row, it's the return of businessman father McMoneybags, who is worried about their child. Oh, dear. Again, didn't I say in Burning Bush it was a recurring trope, and here again we have it.
Off to Venice, I shall need something more concrete than...
Yes, he's been reading his son's letters, and they don't ring true somehow.
And off to Italy to paint.
Also, interestingly, considering the last time we did the Protectors was Burning Bush, which Nari Dawn Porter was not in, this week she carries the episode solo. And I do wonder if perhaps there was, like there was on Series 2 of Space 1999, some kind of 2 episodes at once arrangement, 2 episodes being shot at once.
Since then, and don't ask me how I got hold of these figures, 40,000, 28,000, 30,000. Now, I may just be a suspicious old man, but to me, this means just one thing.
Blackmail?
My son is in trouble of some kind. I'd be very grateful if you could find out exactly what it is.
And if any of my money can help, being Father Dad McRichbags Munnington, I think that's him out of the story now, because the Contessa is in Venice. Lionel Merton was in a wheelchair, so he wasn't leaving New York. But we have this other guy. I think he's a private detective, we find out later on, who's kind of watching her arrive. And the actor, I don't really recognise him except from this episode. He kind of looks like he should be in an American detective show. He looks like he should be on the Rockford Files or something. I don't know what it is. He's probably done tons of British things that I've never seen. Anywho, Paul Jones is, he's got a little notepad with those same monetary denominations that Father Richington McMoneybags mentioned earlier.
Who is it?
The Contessa di Contini.
The star of the show. No doubt you'd have heard of
Now
me.
open up, dear boy.
I like, though, that she's playing up the aristocracy card here.
I feel it. I definitely feel it.
She's trying to be cool.
The air positively tingles with it.
Look,
Not only do I feel
Because Paul Jones is a struggling artist in Venice.
it, but maturity will come. Yes, it will come. Is this for sale?
No, sorry.
Then what is?
Nothing.
Oh?
And it's a fun way for the character to introduce herself into this guy's life, because he's obviously a struggling artist and she has a lot of money. And even though he's up to something suspicious, we can tell, he's clearly not going to turn away a lady who clearly has money and a desire to buy some of his work.
Dear boy, perhaps we shall be able to arrange an exhibition for you. You know, I'm always prepared to back genuine talent.
That's very kind of you, but I'm...
You're busy. Yes.
Yes, this character's name is Caspar Parton,
How's George?
friend of George
Millworth. It was
George Millworth, who is the son of Richington McMoneybags.
met fleetingly at a party recently. I can't think where. You haven't answered my question. How is he?
George hasn't been around in a long while.
Yes, you can tell by the look on Paul Jones' face he's
Now then.
he's trying to figure out an explanation. It's clear something has happened to George, something sticky. Honestly, I was disappointed when I first saw this episode and I saw the title was Goodbye George, and it wasn't a follow-up to the first season episode, The Bodyguards.
How could she?
I'm going to leave that hanging, because I know that some people doubt my Protector's fan credentials, so I'm gonna leave that point hanging there. That I saw the title Goodbye George, I wanted a sequel to The Bodyguards. And if you know the show, you'll know why. Because I liked George. Anywho, the Contessa is, looking at magazine racks. What's she got on there? Zorro, El Santo, Tarzan. Probably quite a few recognisable comics titles. But there's no time for browsing comics because Caspar is... Oh, no, maybe there is time for browsing comics. No. We've got to get on with the show. Caspar is making his way across the... there's a courtyard in Venice. Pigeons everywhere, as you might expect. And not only is the Contessa following him, but so is... reject detective from American Detective Show guy. So it's all a bit suspicious, but luckily we've got this very cool... I think on the network's soundtrack album it is just called Following Theme, which is quite a nice title. And here we are in the bank.
No, just give me an envelope.
Caspar has withdrawn money. Ah, yes, the blackmail denominations. So he's now got that money. And the Contessa is now following him. But again, this reject from Harry-O is still on her trail. And Venice does look lovely as well. It's a really nice day in Venice as well, by the look of it. And this is one of the reasons I'd love to see the Protectors get a full HD remaster, because some of the location stuff is just gorgeous. Nairi Dawn Porter has made some friends with the pigeons. She's got some bird food and they've immediately swamped her. And she's noticed that Caspar is handing that money over to a young lady played by another returning face. This is Geraldine Moffat, who was previously in UFO, The Cat with 10 Lives. Nairi Dawn Porter is just about buried in pigeons at this point. So it's all go. There's if you're a private detective, who do you follow at this point? Do you follow the girl who's got the money, or do you follow Caspar? Well, the Contessa's sticking with the girl. And Bargain Bin Petrocelli, where's he gone? Oh, he followed her too. He's just going to loiter around now while she has a word with Geraldine Moffat. Who, I don't know if anyone else thinks this, and I don't believe they are related. They could be for all I know, I've not checked. But I've always felt Geraldine Moffat looked very similar facially to another actor named John Moffat. It's probably just me, but if you compare those two faces side by side, they do look very similar.
And how much money can I squeeze out of you?
Oh.
Forgive me. But you are obviously a woman of wealth and quality. I receive many such people, enjoying so many good things of life and trying to salve their consciences by giving freely.
Giving?
To the many good causes we endeavor to assist.
The Santa Pura Charities Appeal. Ah. And surely such an innocent charity would explain how Geraldine Moffat can afford like half a dozen necklaces she's wearing there.
He does give you donations, doesn't he?
A very generous man, Signor Parton. He gives so freely that I think he must have a very bad conscience indeed.
Or a young man that he's led astray and led into getting money from his father, Rich Bags McMunnington. Ah, there's the guy from...
Right, and you were careless. The woman you spoke of, she followed.
From Hawaii Five-0. He's still following them.
No, I shall take care of it. I know a man who specializes in such things.
And I'm now starting to run out of American detective shows. What haven't I... What haven't I called on from that era? Let's see. So, it is now... Well, it's opening a door and walking into it stealthily, only pointing the camera at the guy's shoes. Okay, it's nighttime. The Contessa is back in her apartment. Someone has let themselves into her apartment. And she's thrown a glass in his face. Oh, there he is. The reject from Starsky and Hutch.
Take an automatic to bed.
These are emancipated times. Back up.
Oh, I like you. You've got style.
Take that.
I really like the Contessa, actually, in this episode. She's such a strong presence in this episode, again, being the only regular character. It's almost like we're watching a different show.
Small detective agency. Oh, I have got credentials.
With your left hand, if you don't mind.
Ooh. And Norrie Porter is properly tough with this gun. Check the ID.
Well, why on earth didn't you just knock?
He's a card-carrying member of the 1970s TV Detectives Club.
It's figured on searching your luggage to find out who you are.
Why?
I'm working for an insurance agency. We're looking for George Millworth.
Oh, there's that name
The
again.
thief? You forged some securities covered by my clients. Well, I've been following you ever since you contacted Casper Parton.
That doesn't sound like George.
We used to knock around together.
We were led to believe George was quite an upstanding young man. What's going on here?
Millworth just dropped off the world a few months ago. Nobody's seen him since.
Tell me about Millworth.
Well, he's got a bad record. Forgery, con tricks, blackmail, larceny.
Blackmail.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like George at all.
It could.
Help yourself.
No, I haven't touched it for 5 years. I've got to watch my weight. Look, give me a lead. Give me a break. Now, we're crossing wires. Now, I want to know where.
Well,
Yes, it's nice that the Contessa has this guy to
I think that Casper Parton is being blackmailed.
not assist as such, but someone who's working on the same case from a different angle.
Of course, what better front for a blackmailer than a charity organization whose main function is to receive money? You know, I think I'll case that whole joint over tomorrow, or maybe tonight.
So he's Irish, this guy.
My gun back?
Help yourself.
But he just screams late 1960s, early 1970s American detective shows. I don't know what it is about him. He's probably had a long and illustrious British television career that I am completely oblivious to. Anyway, the Contessa has gone back to sleep. Once again, the door to her bedroom is opening silently, and in walks someone, again very stealthy, closing the door behind them. But will she handle this as well as she handled the other guy? Oh, well, he's got something he's going to
No, really, Mr. Mayor.
strangle her with. Oh dear. And this guy, he looks like he has grey hair. She can't get the gun. Oh dear. Yes, this is all there. This is interestingly shot because it's a lot of it is reflected in a mirror across the room. Oh, that's it. She grabbed a statue, clubbed him in the face. And, oh, okay. Well, he's fallen out of her hotel bedroom window. But to be honest, I'm not sure how. The fall seems to have happened completely off screen. He got edited to his death there, I think, that guy, whoever he was. Speaking of whoever he was, this guy, our American detective friend, is investigating the charitable charity place. And he seems to have a key for every occasion he's managed to let himself in. Oh, that's a screwdriver.
We have identified the man, Contessa.
Oh, yay!
I recognize him immediately.
Here he is, this guy. His name is Arnold Diamond. He was a French policeman. He was in a lot of ITC shows, but he was a French policeman in about half a dozen episodes of The Saint. His name was Colonel Latignon. And he had also been in an Anderson thing before. He was in Doppelganger. Uncredited. He's one of the faces on the video conference at the beginning of Doppelganger.
I appreciate there are certain ethics.
I think he might have been the French ambassador or
Reason why that man should have attacked me.
division of Eurosec or something. He's not getting much out of the Contessa. She's not in the mood to do much except look pensive and smoke. But he's leaving her to it. Surely there's nothing in this phone call that she's about to receive that could help with the case.
I took my own advice.
What do you mean?
I started drinking again.
The Santa Pura Charities appeal.
What have you found?
Why don't you come over here and have a look for yourself? I'll be waiting. Oh, I've got a big surprise for you about the dame who runs this joint.
Oh, I'm promising you so much wonderful stuff. Wouldn't it be a shame if you came all this way over and I'd ended up dead? But that's not going to happen. So you come on over, take your sweet time. I'll be here no matter what. And a very nice taxi ride across the river. Again, Venice just looks so lovely. And the Contessa has arrived at the charity place, which is run out of a really crummy building by the look of it. But inside she finds the door still unlocked. The room has been ransacked. It looks like a lot of files and valuables have been cleared away.
Sia, è qualche cosa di grave, venite subito qui, fermate, venite subito qui.
And the river police are being called over by some guys on the shore. What have they found? Well, I suspect... Body. Oh no, not American detective guy. Ah, with a bottle next to him. Oh, and he's very dead and very wet. He's clearly been dumped in the canal, framed to make it look like he drank himself to death.
Contessa di Contina?
Yes?
Oh, no, you're the Contessa di Contini.
Barney Mailer.
Yes. Where can I find him?
In the mortuary.
They pulled him out of the canal an hour ago. Accident. He got drunk, fell out of his boat, got drowned.
Drunk? But he didn't drink.
You think I don't know that?
Oh.
Now, what's your interest in this? What do you know about Barney?
Robert Rietti is telling her off. Right, so the police were listening in. Everyone's a bit suspicious of this suspicious death, as well they might be, which is a bit suspicious. But the Contessa is still going to try and solve this on her own, and the best way to do that is to go back and see Paul Jones, a.k.a. Caspar Parton, a.k.a. nobody else.
It is a great deal, senor.
Oh, but Caspar's out. He's out at the bank getting himself more money.
Won't do it for long.
Oh. So, I suspect that Caspar might be passing all this money from the blackmail to Geraldine Moffat, and then they're going to make off together when they've got enough money. But what's this? The Contessa has found in the fireplace, which she was clued into because it seemed to have been still warm, a recently burnt page of something. Ooh, that looks like a passport of some kind to me. Passport of George Millworth, a.k.a. Missing Friend Guy. But, is all as it seems? I don't think it is, you know. This is all a bit too pat for me.
Hello, Caspar.
What is this? Breaking into my studio. I told you I have nothing for sale.
I won't pretend to be buying paintings anymore, Caspar. But you mustn't pretend either. George Millworth. He is dead, isn't he?
Yes and no.
Yes. And I killed him.
Oh, no.
You better tell me about it.
tell you, I'd be glad to. I've been carrying it around like a mountain on my back for months now. I want to tell you. Tell someone.
And I like that Paul Jones is playing genuine nice guy here.
George was a thief. Did you know that?
He's quite believable.
He and Maria set up that charity place for one purpose.
Which is all to the scene's advantage, of course.
We became friends, George and me, and then later Maria. That was the plan, you see. The old badger game with me in the middle. Sure, I fell for Maria. And then when I found out she was his wife...
What?
Well, you didn't know that? Sure.
That's a twist.
Mrs. Millworth. A great team.
So that was the big surprise Barney had for me.
Ah.
Oh, nothing. Go on.
Barney. That's his name, Barney. I didn't catch his name. I waffled all over the detective guy's name.
George. Right here. I hit him. He fell. He hit his head. There. Didn't get up anymore.
Oh, well.
Then it wasn't murder.
Look, I killed him.
Yes, but accidentally. You didn't mean it.
No.
Because all great detective shows end with accidental death. That's just as interesting as real death, which again makes you think, oh, maybe all is not as it appears here.
She found out what I did.
I'm spoiling it because I'm really keen to get to the twist. I like the twist.
Final payoff.
And also, once the twist comes, I realise I don't have much time left to talk about it. It's a very quick, sudden twist at the end here.
She's coming here?
Any moment. To collect.
Oh, that's her.
No. This is my party. I've been a mouse long enough.
Oh, the Kaspar's helped himself to the Contessa's gun. He's going to put everything right now. He's going to pull the gun on...
What's going on?
We were just talking. I had to keep it talking.
On the Contessa.
Funnily enough, it was the truth I told.
Because she's rumbled them.
Except for two tiny details. It wasn't an accident, my killing George. And I didn't kill George.
Oh, here it comes.
I killed Kaspar.
Right.
See, I'm George. Or I was. I'm Kaspar Parton now.
George is a very naughty boy.
You get the airline tickets?
Yes.
And now they're skipping the country. And interestingly, that line, I'm Kaspar Parton now, there was a version of this episode, and it's the version that I first saw, played on Granada Plus. That was where I first saw the show. As the closing title started, just before the song started, you heard that line again, I'm Kaspar Parton now. It was muffled, but it was clearly on the track. I don't know if any other people remember that line randomly turning up on the end credits of some copies of this episode, but our very quick ending has snuck up on us here. I guess the police have, yes, just murdered
Goodbye, George.
George before he could escape with the money and Geraldine Moffat. And that's it, we're done. That's the end of Goodbye George. And I really like that episode, actually. I think, as I said, it's really nice to get the Contessa leading an episode for a change. And when one of the characters leads an episode, it's almost like this becomes a different show. At one end of the spectrum, we have that going completely wrong with It Could Be Practically Anywhere on the Island with Robert Vaughan starring alone. Here, Nari Dawn Porter carries a really strong story, a really nice guest cast, and yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Goodbye George.